Ever like cooking something super complicated, one of those dishes with a million steps where you kind of have to think on your feet?
Absolutely.
Well, it turns out that's kind of what it's like trying to get AI to reason, to actually think through problems and make decisions. It's a huge challenge. But that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're talking about an AI system called ReAct.
And it's fascinating, right? Because React isn't just about processing information, which is what we often think about with AI. It's about taking that next step. It's about AI actually being able to strategize, make decisions, take action based on what it knows.
Yeah, like instead of just giving AI a recipe, we're trying to teach it to be a chef.
Exactly. That's a
Yeah.
great way to put it. React is about like this seamless blend of reasoning and then actually acting on that reasoning.
Okay, so reasoning is the thinking and acting is the doing.
Yes, exactly. It's not just about spitting out an answer. It's about understanding the task and figuring out the best way to get it done.
Okay, so how do you even begin to test something that complex? Like, how do the researchers even start?
So they gave React some seriously tough challenges. Like imagine asking AI to answer, these open-ended questions, but using Wikipedia as its only source of knowledge. That's one of the things they did.
Whoa, wait, Wikipedia, like the whole
Yeah, it
thing.
sounds crazy, right?
Yeah.
They gave React access to a simplified version of the Wikipedia API. Basically, it's like giving React a direct line to this massive online encyclopedia, but it has to learn how to use it. It has to
Yeah.
search, pull information, the whole 9 yards.
So it's not like memorizing. It's more like React is having to look things up in real time, like we do when we don't know something. That's wild. But how does it even make sense of all that information? I mean, we all know how easy it is to get lost in a Wikipedia rabbit hole.
Right, and that's what makes React so different. A lot of AI systems,
Yeah.
they're trained on these pre-fed data sets. They only know what they've been told.
Yeah.
But React, it's navigating this massive, messy world of online information, just like we do.
Okay, see, now that is cool. But hold on, they didn't stop at Wikipedia, did they? There's more, right?
Oh, yeah. They also challenged React to navigate a virtual world using just text commands. So basically, like giving React a set of instructions and seeing if it could actually follow them.
Right.
Like imagine typing, go north, open the chest, pick up the key, that sort of thing.
Okay, so they're really putting it through its paces. But all this talk about reasoning and acting, it makes me wonder, how does React actually measure up to other AI system? Like, is it actually any good?
That's where things get really interesting. The researchers, they put React head to head with other state-of-the-art AI systems. Some that focused on just reasoning, some on acting, and the results. Pretty impressive, actually.
So how did React do? Was it actually able to keep up?
Well, even though it's still pretty early in its development, React actually outperformed some of the other systems,
Yeah.
especially when it came to tasks that required, like common sense.
Which as humans, we just kind of take for granted most of the time.
Right, exactly. And that's actually a big deal because for a long time, AI really struggled with a lot of the things that humans find easy, like understanding implied information or like quickly adapting to a new situation.
Hmm.
And React, being able to do this, even a little bit, it hints at, a deeper level of learning.
Okay, I'm really starting to see why this is such a big deal. But you said it's still early days. Are there like limitations? What are the researchers still working on?
Oh, absolutely. React definitely shows a lot of promise, but there are definitely challenges. One of the big ones is that it still really relies on having lots of examples to learn, just like many other machine learning systems.
So kind of like if you're teaching someone to cook by showing them like tons and tons of recipes, they might still struggle if you suddenly gave them a totally new ingredient or like a different kind of oven.
That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, React really needs to be exposed to a wide range of examples, different scenarios, to really get those reasoning and problem-solving skills going.
Gotcha. So not quite ready to take over the kitchen then.
Not quite yet.
What else besides needing more examples? What else can kind of trip React up?
Well, sometimes it gets stuck in these loops where it'll just keep repeating the same actions over and over again, but it's not really making any progress. Or it might make mistakes that seem, to us humans, super obvious.
Right. So it still needs a little guidance. So what are the researchers doing to kind of address that?
Okay, so this is where another really fascinating aspect of this research comes in. They're exploring something called humor-in-the-loop learning.
Human in the loop learning.
Okay.
What is that? Does that involve like implanting chips into our brains?
No, nothing quite that sci-fi. Essentially, it means that human operators can actually step in and kind of guide the AI's reasoning process. Like think of it as like having a more experienced chef kind of looking over React's shoulder, offering suggestions, making sure it doesn't burn the dinner.
So we're talking like a collaboration here, humans and AI actually working together.
Exactly. And it turns out that even these small interventions from humans can dramatically improve React's performance. It helps it get unstuck when it hits those roadblocks or if it starts making, illogical leaps.
Okay, so instead of this whole humans versus AI thing, maybe it's more about finding ways to work together. So like taking that human intuition and combining it with AI's processing power.
Exactly. And this collaborative approach, it actually has like huge implications for all sorts of fields. Like imagine AI systems working with doctors on diagnoses.
Hmm.
The AI could analyze medical images and then suggest different possibilities, but then the doctor is still there to provide that context and make the final call, based on their expertise and the individual needs of the patient.
That's a powerful example. It really shows how this kind of teamwork, this human AI teamwork, could really lead to some incredible advancements. I gotta say, this is kind of blowing my mind. Like, it's actually reassuring to think about AI as, more of a tool, not so much something that's like coming for our jobs.
Yeah, it's a hot topic, right? And what's so fascinating about this whole React thing is that it really challenges us to move past those simple narratives. It's not humans versus AI. It's about, like you said, how we can use AI to actually enhance what we're already doing.
Right. It's about working smarter, not obsolete.
Exactly. Like think about the possibilities in like research. AI could go through these massive data sets, like way faster than we ever could, and then point out things, connections that we might miss. And then that frees up researchers to focus on the big picture, asking the important questions.
It's like having like an AI research assistant, basically.
Exactly. And that's what's so exciting about this technology. But it also gets me thinking, right? Like as this type of AI keeps getting, more advanced, where does that leave us? What role do we play in a world where AI can do so much?
Yeah, it's a big question and a little bit of a scary one, honestly.
It is, but it's not about being afraid of the technology. It's about understanding it
Yeah.
and about being mindful, right? Like we need to be thinking about the implications for jobs, for the economy. These are big things, and we have to be prepared.
You're right. We can't just bury our heads in the sand. And it's exactly why, we do these deep dives, these conversations. The more we know, the better equipped we'll be to, actually deal with the future, whatever it holds.
Absolutely. It's all about informed curiosity.
Oh,
And you know what? That's not just for like the tech people. It's for everyone.
for sure.
Yeah.
So to everyone listening, here's something to think about. If you could have your own AI assistant, like ReAct, what would you want it to do? What tasks would you hand over? What would that collaboration even look like?
I love that question. The possibilities really are kind of endless when it comes to AI.
Totally. And on that note, I think that's a wrap for today's deep dive. Until next time, everyone, keep those brains engaged. And thanks for joining us.